Let's draw silly faces. Hello my people, happy Monday. I pray that this week brings you peace and joy and everything that you need to get through it. In today's video, we are going to be drawing some very silly faces. I started off by creating some abstract shapes. Honestly, once the shapes felt good to me or I liked the way they looked, I knew that it was good time for the most part. And then I started adding eyes to the work. I was very excited about this whole process, as usually I would have a reference or have an idea of what I want the end result to be. But honestly, this entire exercise, I was just on vibes and I absolutely loved that. This would be the second low pressure drawing exercise I'm doing, and I came up with this idea to just freely sketch, and I think part of what helped was the kind of brush that I'm using here. So I'm using a 2-in-2 brush in my Procreate app, and I have edited it from the original 2-in-2 brush, so it moves very nicely, very smooth. What a drawing exercise like this does for you is it helps you to completely get out of your head and make sure that you are creative and that you are exploring your creativity in some way, because it's not until you have a big project or you have like a really specific idea of a piece you want to make, sometimes perfectionism and just being in your head as a creative person, it's not in our best interest. So you really need to go out of your way and actually create. For the most part, in this drawing exercise, all the characters kind of have the same face. As you see, their eyes are very similar, kind of like almond shaped, and then the irises / pupils area is very much circular. They have the dramatic eyelashes, the freckles on the cheeks, the cute chubby cheeks, the noses that kind of look like number 3s, but inverted number 3s. They have very big, Dumbo, flappy ears, interesting earrings, things like that. Again, all very fun, all part of the fun element, just seeing how the different shapes of the faces and using very using very freeing lines and kind of the same elements in all the different pieces, but again they have different shapes, they have different looks, so ultimately it all comes out differently. If I had to pick a favorite face in the entire bunch, it would have to be this one. I think there's just something about the way the face looks and the shape, like the length of it, all of that, and the way, like all the different decisions and choices I made in drawing it, how it came together. Also, the eyebrows. The eyebrows are absolutely on point, like in comparison to the others. Maybe I did them dirty, but yeah, this one just looks, she looks good. She looks really cute. Looks like she's ready to be animated for a movie, if I do say so myself. And her hair is giving strawberry shortcake. I think that's it. All the elements in that one make her look like a strawberry, and I love that. This one that I'm currently drawing turned out so cute, and I think it's because of the face. Like, look at how long I had to make the smile line so that it covered enough surface area, and it just makes me think about like us as human beings and like the faces that we have, the features we have, you know, how our eyes look, how our noses look. Ultimately, we can all have the exact same features, but if it's made to look very different, you know, we all still come out looking different. Because look at all these 4 faces, they all honestly have very similar features, yet they don't even look related, if I'm being very honest. As someone who usually sketches with a plan and has an idea of how I want the pieces to look at the end, even down to like colors, the coordination, this exercise was extremely freeing, because again, like I said earlier, I was really just going on vibes and seeing what each face looked like with whatever color I had given it. But again, I wanted there to be a cohesive feel to the piece, so even down to the colors I ended up choosing, they are all kind of related in a way. Like one might be a different hue, one might be a different shade of the same color, It's still pinks, it's still oranges, but different hues, different shades, which was very exciting. Let me put you on to good music. You, my friend, put me on. This EP sounds like high life meets gospel. Yeah. If someone asked me about the drawing process for this piece and what part was most fun, I would say it was sketching and then putting in the initial colors, because after I finished sketching and I put down the colors for the face and for the hair, for the most part it was kind of done, and it was just nice to see how such a quick exercise and something that I was just doing for fun, how it turned out, and I felt like it ended up looking really cool in the end, which you'll eventually get to see. But yes, the most fun part was definitely the sketches, because I had no idea how that was going to look, and then putting in the colors and just seeing everything come together. I know that I'm not using the Procreate app to its fullest potential. When I first got the iPad and I downloaded the app, I had actually gone to the Procreate YouTube page to learn how to do basic functions and all of that, and I think I got too comfortable with learning how the app basically worked and being able to function it. Whenever I watch other people's drawing videos or drawing tutorials, I just see how digitized and how smart with the tools and all those different parts of the app are, and I'm still trying to figure it out. There's some things that I see them do, I'm like, how did you do this? My iPad doesn't do this, which is not correct. So my iPad does do that, just to know how to get it to be that function. Anyway, if you have Procreate and you draw on it and you have figured out some cool little quirks in the app or ways to speed up the process, please let me know. But again, I'll do my own due diligence and actually go back to their YouTube page to learn, but still, it'll be cool to learn from you if you are already learning from me, or if you're already here. Somebody once said that the eyes are the soul to the body, or are the gateway into the body, and that's so true, because the second I put in the whites for the eyes and then I started doing individual eye colors for each of them, they instantly look bright, and look at them, they look so much happier, they look so much more real. I mean, as real as they can get, because these are cartoons, these are blobs, these are abstract looking things, but I think they come pretty close. When I was designing the earrings, or rather putting in color for the earrings, I took colors from other parts of another face and then used that so that there's a cohesive feel. So if you look at the orange one, her earrings are pink. It's from the hair of the one that's closest to her. The blobby looking one that looks really cute, the earrings are from the hair of the small pear-shaped one that's beside it, so things like that. So again, there are artists who, when they are creating their pieces, they don't use too many colors. A lot of the colors that they are using is actually already in the piece. Maybe using 2 to 3 colors. Again, we don't have to go by traditional artist ideologies, but if you were interested in that, right, and you still want your piece to look very beautiful, very colorful, but also don't want it to look overpowering, don't want it to look too much, you can honestly just change the hues, you can change the shades. And that's what I tend to do a lot, because when I was learning art in my visual art class, when I was in from SS1 to SS3, our visual art teacher would challenge us to use 2-3 colors. So those were the main colors, and then we could use different hues, different shades and stuff like that. And honestly, he was so smart for giving us the idea, because I feel like if I didn't learn that basic rule of thumb, I would have had to learn how to make more cohesive looking drawings that I wanted to be colorful, but I didn't understand the artist mindset behind it. This face looks like she's just happy to be here, which is funny because this was literally the last face I did, and this one looks like she's that girl. She looks like she models. She looks like she gets loads of compliments on her unique facial features and how long her face is and her unique chin. It's kind of obvious that this one's my favorite with all all the things I'm saying. She looks like she gets loads of compliments on her eyebrows as well because they are actually on point. This one looks very cheeky and looks like it tells a couple jokes here and there. They might not necessarily be jokes you find funny, but trust me, it thinks that its jokes are funny. I needed more stabilization on my brush, so I went in to make that edit, and it is because the next phase of what we're doing is we're working on highlights, and I absolutely love the way highlights make the drawing come out so much more and make all the features stand out even more. Like if you thought it looked good before, putting highlights on is going to make it look so much better. And again, the thing with highlights is everybody thinks it's, oh, I need to use one specific color to do the highlights, but you actually don't. The color that you're using for the highlight just needs to match up with the current piece that you're working on, right? So there isn't a one size fits all for highlights. Look, the very orange one I had did earlier, the highlights for that were like a very bright yellow, whereas for this one the highlight is more peachy because it has to be based on your character's features. It has to be on the skin tone that they already have. And yeah, so just play around with that. Draw different people, different skin tones, different colors, and play around with how the highlights look, because the highlights that will be on somebody who has red light on them or pink light on them or blue light on them is very different from the highlights that will be on someone who has more olive features, not features, who has a more olive skin tone or undertone, things like that. I hope that makes sense. I hope this highlight 101 crash course has. One of the most annoying things to happen to you as a digital artist is when you're looking for the layer. Now I had made this mistake and I had no idea what layer it was on, so I had to go individually to every layer from beginning to end to try and find it. I eventually did find it, but still, like, it's annoying. Now if I knew the quick steps to help me and like the quick things to do in Procreate to be able to find that would have helped a great deal, but alas, I am not informed with this information. So I did go in at the end and then added some final details like the little star things in the eyes, and if you look closely at the hair patterns, it's kind of dotted. Each person's eyes, each character's eyes has a different like look to it. So one has like stars, one has like sideways lines, things like that. Just, you know, things to add to the individuality. If you've been in an art funk recently, or the next time you get into an art funk, I highly recommend that you do this drawing exercise. Also, if you have drawing exercises that you do on your own that have helped and you like, please suggest them in the comment section. I would love to try them out. Yeah, let me know what your favorite piece is. Let me know what face you like, what it feels like for you. Yeah, just let me know. One of my favorite things also is to take my signature in pieces. Honestly, whenever I have to order something, or like I'm signing my receipts, say I go out to pay for something, I'm always so excited to sign. Anyway, close-ups of the pieces now. So I'm using at the eyes. One has like wavy lines, one has swirly lines. This is the one with the star eyes, and then this is the one with the sideways lines for eyes. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. I loved it. Enjoyed the time lapse. See how everything came together. What's your favorite face? A, B, C, or D? I think you already know my answer. It's B. Yeah, but I love all of them. I created them, so I love all of them. But I really like B. Bye.